Danny Acosta for Fight Magazine here with UFC welterweight Jake Shields' head trainer, Tareq Azim. Tareq, with Jake Shields coming over to the UFC, did you do anything specific in his camp? You started working after the Henderson fight immediately on this debut, so talk about the long road that it's been to get here.
Well, it's been an extremely long road to get here because it's been something he's been waiting for a long time. Some of the programs that we did take into place was obviously taking the cardio and conditioning factor to another level because it was already very high. So just working on that kind of stuff, and more importantly, was just to make a better Jake Shields. You know, we didn't train specifically for Kampmann or specifically for any opponent. It was just about making Jake the best in every single position and every single art involved in making mixed martial arts.
You talked about the cardio. Is that something that you feel he'll be able to bring to an even higher level because he's preparing for 5-round fights over his last couple bouts?
Yeah, well, yeah, because we were always at 5-round fights. I can't think what last 4 or 5 fights have all been 5-minute round fights. But carrying that cardio and conditioning, I like to keep that tempo up because obviously, as you see, when you have the cardio and the conditioning, you've got that peace of mind to where you can kind of do anything at any pace. And that's the ultimate goal with keeping that conditioning cardio up.
You talked about him improving the individual arts. How much did Ben Askren help in this camp, and also how's his stand-up came along?
Great. Ben Askren was able to come out. He did went over some great technique with us, helped clean up and kind of introduce new things we hadn't used before. It was wonderful having him around. Court McGee come out. Rich Antonio came out from American Top Team from the Ultimate Fighter show as well. And a lot of the stand-up stuff, like always, like I said, the goal isn't to make or to try to change Jake and make him become a striking artist. You know, it's to be able to stand and defend against the best strikers and understanding the game and understanding what they're doing. And I think he's, just from the last previous fights you guys have seen, it's been visible to the audience out there, Jake's been able to kind of perform against the bigger, better striker guys on working on the other aspect, which is the defending part.
What's your biggest worry when it comes to Martin Kampmann?
Oh, Martin Kampmann's a complete fighter. The guy's solid. You know, I don't think he'd be fighting Jake if he wasn't. I wouldn't say I'm not worried about anything with any of these guys ever, just because I don't believe anyone works harder than we do, and I don't think anyone pushes the positions more than we do. It's not about being worried about Martin Kampmann, but it's about his game is very well respected and hasn't been overlooked at all. So overall, a lot of his game is he can be dangerous almost everywhere he is, the guy. So.
Jake has been getting a lot of flack because he's went to the decision in his last 2 fights. How much do you feel elbows will improve his game here in the UFC?
That's actually something I'm really excited about, finally being able to use the elbows. I mean, if you think about the last 2 fights, especially that you referred to with Jake, he was in dominant positions to where the elbows could have played a humongous factor in just ending the game, ending the fight. And I don't see Jake not getting in that position to be able to use the elbows. I think the elbows were made for Jake.
What does the George St-Pierre fight that's dangling over this fight here mean to Jake Shields, and how hard has it been to stay focused on Martin Kampmann, with that there?
The whole George St-Pierre thing is something that's obviously always out there and about, but the main focus in and out has just been Martin Kampmann. Of course, talks come out, but I'll shoot it down like a duck in the air immediately. Focus on Kampmann. That's where we're fighting next.
With Jake Shields being so close to a title shot and in the UFC now, what's the attitude like in camp? How do you guys feel going into this fight?
I feel really excited. It's something he's wanted for a long time. It's something the team has wanted for a long time, to be able to perform at the top level with the top athletes and the players in the game, and finally to be here in the UFC is a huge honor and something we've been waiting for. So, of course, the pressure, I wouldn't say too much pressure was on, but knowing that Jake would be in an organization where he'd be appreciated and respected, something like the UFC I think is a perfect home for him. That's what we're more happy about than anything.
You talked about appreciation and respect. Was he, unappreciated or disrespected in Strikeforce, do you feel? Yeah,
he was a Strikeforce champion. Absolutely had no push whatsoever. And I don't think they really went out of their way ever to help Jake out as much as Jake helped them out in their promotion. And it's obviously with on our last fight as well. It wasn't to build a Jake Shields fight. It was to build a Dan Henderson. Was the main motive. But little things like that, again, it's in the past. We're living in the now. I'm really happy to be here with the UFC. And again, it's quite obvious to everybody that this is a perfect home for Jake.
And so what can fans expect from Jake Shields on Saturday night?
The best Jake Shields ever, just like always. Every time come out, just a better Jake Shields.
Tareq Azim.